What's going on, people? Good evening. Get the mic close to me here. Good evening, good evening, good evening. What's going on? Welcome to Pro Fan Talk. My name is Marcus Thomas. Thank you for joining me on this good Thursday. What's going on, people? Hope everybody's doing well out there. As usual, we got a lot of stuff going on. Let me see you in the chat. Let me know you here. The NFL is the gift that keeps on giving. I'm about to put that on the t-shirt, man. It has been nuts. Another story, another what's going on. What's up, Rob? Good to see you, fam. First in the chat, I appreciate it. But man, we got every week is another story. Every week, somebody want to get traded, somebody want to go somewhere else, somebody not happy. Oh my God, man, it's always something. Love me some Jordan Davis. Rob, I'm with you, brother. I am with you. If we can get Jordan Davis, that would be quite lovely. We're going to get into the draft. But let's get started right now. And you know how we do. We're going to get started with our breaking news, man. This Deebo Samuel stuff, man. This is just off the chain. Deebo Samuels wants to get out of San Francisco. And I'm like, my question is why? There's a couple things I can think of. There's been stuff going around, talking heads, sources, and you know how I feel about sources. Everybody just guessing, just like we are. What's going on, Derry? Good to see you, fam. It's the Deebo Samuels things is it's kind of odd, and I'm saying this as a running back. So there were a couple of stories that came out this morning that were saying one of the reasons why. What's going on, Vince? I see you. One of the reasons why he wants out is because he does not want to be a hybrid player. He wants to be a wide receiver. He doesn't want to be a wing back. That was the term that's been coined for him. A wing back. What's up, TK? They made that phrase for him. And there's been other people who have been hybrid players and played quite well. But in this era, you could put Tyreek Hill in that a little bit if you really want to, because there's plenty of times and plenty of plays where they'll hand the ball off to Tyreek on the jet sweep or something like that. But Deebo is in the backfield, so he has. Let me check my notes here. I know he has. I wrote it down somewhere. He's had over. I lost it. He's had over 14. I believe he had 1,400 yards receiving, and he had about 365 yards rushing. What's going on, Murph? Hey, Mom. So he's a true hybrid player. His was interesting, though. He had 365 yards rushing, but had 8 rushing touchdowns. He had 1,600 yards receiving and had 6 touchdowns. And I believe overall, he was responsible for about almost 30% of the San Francisco offense. That meaning he touched the ball almost 30% of the time. That's a lot for one player. That's a whole lot. And he's saying he don't want to be a hybrid player. And I'm thinking, why don't you want to be? You are arguably the second most dangerous weapon in the league behind Tyreek Hill. You could argue that. Somebody would say, some other people. I would even throw as a defensive player, your boy in Dallas, the linebacker, Micah Parsons in Dallas. He's a dangerous type player on the defense, but on offense, you are the second most dangerous player in the league, in my opinion, behind Tyreek Hill. So, Derry, I don't know what his gripe is. I have no idea. That's what everybody's. That's what all the talking heads are trying to figure out. Everybody's got an angle on. Well, I heard this, I heard that. Some people talking about he's homesick. What's up, twin? My twin sits in the house. Some people saying he's homesick. I believe he put out a tweet today that said, like, kind of shooting that down. I don't know what's going on, Greg. I don't know if being homesick has anything to do with it. However, I will say this. Now, I'm going back a ways. I remember when I was in camp with the Birds way back in the day when we was at Westchester and all that kind of stuff. There were players that were not cut. And the next morning in practice, you were looking around like, yo, where's old boy? And they got homesick. And they packed their stuff and went home. Whether they were girl sick, missed their boo, or missed their mama, whatever the situation was. They were here one day and gone the next. And they were not cut. The Grim Reaper didn't visit them. For all of those that don't know, the Grim Reaper is that guy, his job on every NFL team. There's a guy that goes around in camp, and his job is to knock on the doors of the players that get cut. Sometimes it's early in the morning, sometimes it's late at night. Knocks on the door. Hey, why don't you bring your playbook and pack your stuff up? We call him the Grim Reaper, and nobody wants that knock. But there are people that just go, they just, for whatever reason, they can't take it. Homesick, whatever reason it may be. But they get up out of there. I don't think that that's his issue. Some people are bringing up that he doesn't want to be in California. He doesn't want to be in San Fran. I think it is a reasonable criticism that a lot of these players who are playing in these cities with these high behind taxes, 13.25% in California, I believe, and you making millions, that's a whole lot of hamburgers coming out your check every week. So that is a valid reason why a lot of these guys are getting out and going to other places. That is a big reason why Tyreek Hill took that deal to Miami. I am of the opinion that if Tyreek Hill and the Chiefs had not won a Super Bowl, he would still be in Kansas City. The fact that he already has a ring, he knows what it feels like. So that quest to the top of the mountain is not there anymore. So he doesn't feel so bad going in a different direction. Everybody doesn't want to stay around to try to get 2 and 3 and 4. Everybody don't want to try to be Tom Brady. They want to get their one because they understand how difficult it is just to get one. Ask Seattle. Seattle should have been back-to-back. One play away. One mistake. So it is extremely difficult to get one. So when you get one, a lot of people get satisfied. A lot of people get satisfied. So knowing that, I don't see it too far out of the realm that Tyreek would leave the dynasty level squad he was on. And they had that potential. I don't know if they have it now. We'll have to wait and see. But now he's in Miami. He's from around that area somewhere, so he's home. He don't have to worry about the taxes. So he's living good in the neighborhood. And I'm sure he's going to be loving it. So very interesting. Deebo, somebody like that on that team, you got to remember, Deebo basically took his team to the Super Bowl. If not for a safety that can't catch a lob, that safety dropped that pick, game would have been over. They would have been in the Super Bowl. It would have been San Francisco and the Bengals, just like it was the last time the Bengals were in the Super Bowl. But you got a safety that can't catch a lob So they missed their opportunity. Everybody keeps showing that last highlight where Jimmy G is running around and he throws that pick. The game was over before that. He wasn't making 4th and 30, whatever it was, 4th and 28, whatever it was. It was 4th and way too long. He wasn't going to convert that first down. The game was over by then. So Deebo Samuels basically helped take that team to the Super Bowl, especially when you 30% and you're responsible for 14 touchdowns on the year. You put in work. And for some reason, I was all on a lot of the fan pages that I'm on, and I posted some things about this situation. And it is funny, without fail, every time you have a elite level player who leaves the team, all of this stuff comes out of the woodwork. He's a bum. He's this. He's that. We didn't need him. All of that kind of stuff. All of the vitriol comes out from people that are just butthurt that their guy is leaving their team. Has nothing to do with his level of play. So everybody's got a reason. He talked about him getting death threats and all of that kind of stuff. People reaching out to his family and saying some foul stuff to his family and stuff like that. So, and that's been verified. He ain't making that stuff up. So, and that's another reason. But it definitely has to be some other things that were going on. You just don't wake up one game away from the Super Bowl. You don't wake up and want to just leave that team. Now I understand they still don't know what they're gonna do with Jimmy G. They still don't know what they're gonna do with Trey Lance. But you're the guy. You got the best offensive coach you could get with Shanahan. Why would you want to leave? Why would you want to leave? So it'll be interesting to see how this shakes out. I don't see anybody signing him before the draft. I see him possibly being trade bait for the draft. Some team moving up or some team picking him up to fill a need. Absolutely. I would want Deebo. There's been a lot of talk hoping the Eagles are in the mix for Deebo Samuels. I would like to get that elite level talent here in Philadelphia. However, do we have the offense that's going to use him properly? And this goes to any team that could possibly sign him. Are they going to use him properly? Here's what happens. Every team wants a Deebo Samuels. Every team wants a Tyreek Hill, a Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs. Whoever, name whatever player you wish we had. DK Metcalf. Everybody wants that player, right? But if that player was here, would he have the same success? We talk about how Howie missed on Jamar Chase and DK Metcalf. The question is, with what you see with Sirianni, would we be using those players like they're being used now? If we did get Deebo, could we use him like Shanahan used him? Then that goes to the next question. Do you think Sirianni is on the same level of Shanahan in mixing and matching and diversifying his playbook to get the most out of the players on his team? I don't think he's at that level yet. He might not ever be at that level. He might surpass that level, but based on what I've seen, I don't know. TK, I feel you on that one. taking a chance. But you understand how fandom can turn real quick. But I agree with you. He's worth taking that chance for. I'm with you. Because now that puts the onus on the coach. You got an elite level player. Now you ain't got no excuses. You got the dude that you said we need. Now you have no more excuses. What you gonna do? Get him in the game. Get the ball in his hands. However you got to do it. My criticism is it shouldn't happen when we get a Deebo or some other free agent that we get. We should be able to do that now. We got the guys that can do that. I'm still mad that we don't have any kind of screen game. Eagles screen game is garbage. Throwing a wide receiver screen. Trips left, trips right, you throw a wide receiver screen. Everybody and their mama know what's coming. And we ran that way too much. Eagles are cheap. Yeah, kinda. I wouldn't say the Eagles are cheap. I would say that sometimes they don't put their money in the right spots. They're not afraid to spend money. It's kind of like, why would you spend money there? We need to put that money somewhere else. So it's not that they're cheap. In my opinion, I just don't think that they put that money in the right place. But again, that's an opinion because game 8 next year, we could all be singing a totally different song. So Eagles can't draft. They can draft, but that's a very difficult rebuttal because we don't whiffed. We whiffed. They outsmarted themselves when we could have got Russell Wilson. They got too cute. We just out and out whiffed on J.J. Arcega-Whiteside and Jalen Reagor. Everybody knows that. So but we'll see what happens. I will say this though, if Howie Rosemann whiffs on this draft, he might not see the end of that contract. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. What else is going on? That dude right there. Last night, if you watched the game, we're gonna get back to football, but I definitely wanted to mention this because it's too much football going around, and we gonna get deep into the playoffs probably in the next couple weeks or so because I believe our Sixers are still gonna be in the mix. But that dude right there, that's how you're supposed to play if you're an MVP player. That effort last night is what you're supposed to do. I hope everybody saw it. The problem is, have they already cast their vote? So, Joel Embiid, brother, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. The longer you play like that, the more we can forget about Ben Simmons. And speaking of Ben Simmons, he talking about coming back playing. I hope they give him the business. I hope whoever they playing, Boston, I hope they get in his grill and just go at him. I would be surprised if they don't. I hope they just go at him, get in his neck. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And this dude right here is making up for Harden because Tyrese Maxey is just, dude, he's blowing it up. Tyrese Maxey is straight balling and letting you know he's here to stay. Harden is showing his age. I believe he's got enough in the tank to get it together and pull a couple good games in this playoff run, but he's just showing his age. He ain't explosive as he used to, and it shows. But I don't need him to be as explosive as he used to be. I just need him to be better than some of the guys that's on the other team. That's all he has to be. We got enough youth. We got Joel Embiid, and they getting it done. So we'll see. I know they need to take care of business. Let's go ahead and sweep the Raptors up on out of here, and don't turn the daggone ball over 24 damn times. Like, come on, man. That's not how you win in the playoffs. But the fact that they played that bad and still pulled out that win says a lot. Says a whole lot. I'm with you, Charles, man. Maxey is a baller. Straight baller. So I think Harden he'll have one or two like great games. Brian, what's up, dude? Been waiting for you, man. Where you been? I need Harden to have one or two great games in the playoffs just to get us over the hump. He gonna have the good games. He just can't have a bad game. Just have one or two, just like, that's what we brought you here for. But already I'm good because Maxey and Harden, it's already been worth it with the whole Ben Simmons thing. So, we good to go with that. Good to go with that. Derry said, Father Time is undefeated. Yep. That's right. So, Jason, he'll have him against Miami. Who, Harden? I hope so, because Miami gonna come ready to play. And we gotta get that taste out of our mouth. So they gotta go at it. And your boy gonna be running his mouth. Jimmy Butler gonna be running his mouth. So they gotta be ready to take it to him. So it should be very, very interesting. What's up, Pop? It should be very interesting. He doesn't need to be the Houston Rockets hard. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Chris, you talking about Tobias? Yeah. He had a good game last night. Still got an ugly shot, but he had a good game. So they need to let's get rid of some of those turnovers and protect the ball a little bit and just keep doing what you're doing. That's a totally different game if we have the turnovers. Even if you have the turnovers, you still got 12 turnovers for the game. Come on. 24 turnovers, man. Dang, no. So, has Jimmy, since joining Miami, had a big game against us? I don't know, but this is the playoffs. Everything changes in the playoffs. So, Brian, let me see. Audrey DePaul, I would love to see the Eagles snag that monster of a man from Georgia. Yes. If you guys did not see my poll, it was basically like who do you want to see the Eagles draft? I want to see that first pick. I want to see that boy from Georgia. I would like to see Nakobe Dean from Georgia. I think we're in a pretty good situation because I don't know if there's a good chance that they will still be on the board when it's our turn to pick. So we'll see. Harden can still put 35 to 40 at any time. Hey man, I think you're right, but I need to see it. I used to live in St. Louis, so you have to show me. But I'm with you. He still can put up a good game every now and then, and that's what we need him to do. All right, so let's get off the Sixers right now, and let's get to the meat. Man, it's NFL draft. Put your GM hats on. Put on your GM tie. Williams. Which Williams? Let me get my draft notes here. Let me see. Who are we talking about? Williams. Which Williams? You gotta be specific, man. From Alabama. We got I printed out a couple of mock drafts, And also, if you guys haven't seen it, you guys got to go on pff.com. They've got a mock draft simulator. So it's basically it's you pick whatever team you want to represent, and then it'll draft up to that team. So of course I go all the way down to 32, which is I believe Detroit, I think, or 31 is Cincinnati. So I go to Cincinnati and then start the thing, and then it drafts all the way to my pick. So it'll pick for the Eagles and all of that kind of stuff. And I've done this like 6 or 7 times already. So I'm doing it right now on my iPad as I'm talking. And right now, it gives us our first pick at 15. We get Chris Olave, wide receiver from Ohio State. And our 18th pick, we get Nakobe Dean. So I'm digging that right now. I love that pick. Let me see. I'm trying to see if they pick, because see, this is the stuff that it doesn't make sense. So, okay, so we got Chris Olave, and the Chargers at pick 17 picked up Jordan Davis right before our pick. So we ended up getting Nakobe Dean. But I would say if we have the opportunity to get Olave, let's get him. I'm sorry, if we got an opportunity to get Jordan Davis, let's get him. And on that 18th pick, if we can't get Olave or Garrett, there are still some top wide receivers that will be available at that spot. So you still got let me see. You still got, that's the big boy. That's Jordan Davis. And you still got, that's Nakobe Dean. I believe that's Treylon Burks from Arkansas. He's available. And then the kid from SC, London, I think that's his name. The receiver from SC, he would still be available. So those are my top 4 right there. I would like to say Treylon Burks, the kid London. My top pick, if he's available, is Jordan Davis. That's I'm like, get him. Let's secure that line, and let's make it happen. Plus, I would love to have a kid like that underneath Fletcher Cox or next to Fletcher Cox. And let us not forget, the heart of our defense will be back this year, Brandon Graham. So it'll be, I would love to see those guys on our team, because there's a lot of wheeling and dealing that's going to go on. Burks or Wilson and Lloyd would be my dream draft if we don't trade up. Yeah, that's the other thing. Are we going to take both those picks in the first rounds, or are we going to trade up or down? I don't see us. Why would we trade up? If anything, I would see us trading down. So, Slipniz, put in the chat, why do you think we would trade up? Who would we trade up for? I guess would be the question. Sauce? Okay. I wouldn't be mad at that. I ain't gonna lie. Wouldn't be mad at that. If it was a 1-for-1 trade, if you just traded positions, and I guess trade that pick in Jalen Reagor. That's what everybody's saying. I wouldn't be mad at that. We would have to trade up pretty good, because I think Sauce is going to go in top 10, maybe top 7. I'm still thinking Iwanu, the big offensive lineman from North Carolina State. I think he's going in the top 5. He might even go number 1. Howie always builds the lines. Yeah, you're right, Vince. You ain't said a lie, bro. Any chance the Eagles shock the world and take a linebacker with that second pick? Listen, I got a strong feeling that Nakobe Dean will be available. Whether we take them or not is a whole nother ball game. Whole nother ball game. I think there are going to be some good players available, and we just got to pull the trigger. How we got to pull the trigger? That's what it comes down to. And everybody going to be sitting back, biting their nails. Because I remember watching the draft when DK was available, and I was like, we're going to get DK Metcalf. And I was like, what? Just like everybody else did. Everybody lost their collective crap. And like, Howie, what are you doing? But we'll see. They can shock the world. Trade down to like 2027 with 18 and get something in return. I can see Howie doing that, Slips. I can definitely see him doing that. So, but Vince, you're absolutely right, brother. I could definitely, he loves building those defensive lines. And if we can get Jordan Davis, I like that kid. I like that 4.8 speed at 340 pounds. You kidding me? Whew. That's the kind of kid that was like Fletch when Fletch came in the league, faster. Don't know how strong he is, but I would imagine he's pretty daggone strong at 340 pounds. So as long as he's the type of player that needs to be double teamed, we're in good. Because that means Reddick on one side, whatever side he's going to be playing, got to get that edge and get off. Somebody's got to, when you have to double team somebody, that means somebody's coming free. That means you have to adjust your line. You slide in Roger Louis, and you got to make an adjustment because somebody's coming free. It's the same way if a defense blitzes, there should be somebody that's unaccounted for. Same thing on the defensive line. If you got somebody that's good enough that needs to be double teamed, that's leaving somebody open. So we'll see what Gannon does with a situation like that. Ultimately, it's going to come back to that. Just like I was saying, like with Deebo in Shanahan. What's Gannon going to do if we get Nakobe Dean, if we get Jordan Davis? What is he going to do to his defensive schemes to take advantage of those type of players? And then here's the next question. Whatever he does do, how come you ain't do it last year? So it'll be interesting. I was watching a show earlier, and I was trying to figure out, I believe it was Seth's show, and I was agreeing with him, like, when did the word get out that Gannon was such a high head coaching option? Where did that come from? So I'm curious as if it'll be like that again, but it all depends on what he does with the defense. Stingley or Hamilton falls to 15. I still want and believe that Linderbaum is the best player in the class. Arguably, I wouldn't go that route, but I'm not going to argue with you because, yeah, Hamilton falls to 15. See, I got a feeling that somebody's going to try to jump and get one of these quarterbacks. Somebody's going to be itching to pull a deal on Malik. That's what I think is going to happen. I think Malik is the X factor, and he will be, if it happens, that will be the thing that happens that shifts, and everybody's going to start scrambling to make deals. Happens every year. Somebody's going to sneak up to try to get Malik. I'm thinking maybe possibly the Jets, possibly the Panthers, possibly Atlanta. Atlanta needs a quarterback. Marcus Mariota is a stopgap. He's not their future. Eagles need a number one wide receiver. I don't necessarily agree with that. We need another good wide receiver, and we need a opened up offense. That's what we need. I'm hoping Pascal will be better than advertised because we really don't know much about him. He made some things happen when he had the ball in his hands. He just didn't get the ball in his hands often. Was that Carson's fault, or is he just not, is he not getting open? What's the situation with that? So I don't think we need necessarily a number one receiver. However, it can't hurt. It can't hurt. I don't understand, or I don't see us using opening up the offense enough to take advantage of what we need to take advantage of. Looking back on last year, I will challenge anybody. Go back and watch that first game of the season when we played Atlanta. And Jalen Hurts lit him up. And everybody was like, oh, he's pretty good and this, that, and the other. And it was all was well in the world. And then we didn't run that style of offense for the rest of the year. And I was like, because you remember that game, everything, the first couple series was up tempo, running like quick plays in, quick plays out. It was an up tempo offense, and then they slowed it down. And then after that game, we stopped doing. I think Jalen Hurts had, I want to say he had 340 that game. He had a great game. And it was like that whole scheme, that whole concept they used that game, they never did it again. We stopped running the ball. We start running all these crazy screens and wide receivers. I can't even call them screens. They're just throwing the wide receiver putting the wide receiver to the trip side and throwing the ball and the wide receiver screen. I would hate that. TK might take a chance at Jameson Williams at 18. I know he's coming off the ACL, but the potential he's healthy. Nah, I wouldn't. I would not take that chance. I would not take that chance because there are other players who can have an immediate impact. I would not take that chance. No way. Agree, Jason. I've been beating that dead horse for a while. We have zero screen game. Zero. Go back and look when Big Red was here and the type of screens that we would run, and Darren Sproles and Shady, and it's not hard to do. And then you look at what Big Red is doing in Kansas City. This is a copycat league. All you got to do is look at what he's doing and kind of configure it to the squad that you got and do the same stuff. We're not even doing that. Most people don't even realize that the Eagles weren't even putting their receivers in motion. And it's like, what are you doing? So it was ugly for a minute. It was embarrassingly ugly to the point where Steve Smith called our offense high school trash. And you couldn't argue with him. You could not argue with him. So don't count out KC, Green Bay, Seattle jumping up into the first round with all the draft capital they have. Absolutely. Absolutely, Vince. I'm thinking the same exact thing. People don't understand draft capital. We got a lot of picks and stuff like that. Teams don't want to pay all that money for draft picks. When you draft a player, that automatically puts them in a much, much higher financial bracket than if you sign somebody off the streets, if you signed a free agent. So you really don't want a lot of high draft picks. Like we had 3 draft picks in the first round. We knew good and daggone well we weren't going to use all 3 of them draft picks. We're not going to look at the contract controversies that happen when you have a top pick, the number one pick in your draft, the number one pick on your team. How many times does that go into training camp and they haven't worked out a deal yet? He hasn't reported yet. All of that kind of stuff. Now, if you had 3 players, because you got to remember, whoever signs first, that sets the bar for the other 2. So teams are very careful with that. And you know that they weren't going to come off that type of money for 3 players in the first round. You knew he was trading down or trading away that pick. 2 picks, a little bit more reasonable. And I still think he might trade one of those picks away. I hope he doesn't, because we have an opportunity to get 2 immediate impact type players. So we'll see what he's going to do. But not for nothing, Howie's on the clock, and I am a Howie fan. I love that dude. I call him the Wizard of Philadelphia, because like him or not, he's made some things happen. Yes, he's whiffed, but he is a big reason why we got that chip. Can't deny it. So when you look at all the other teams that still don't have one, and how quickly we forget us being the butt of the jokes from Cowboys fans, from Giants fans, from all those other teams that got a ring, and the whenever you try to come back with something, it would always be, listen, talk to me when you just get one. Now you in that room now. Remember all the stuff we talked, the new norm and all of that kind of stuff when Peterson was still here? Yeah. See how quickly that changes? Nothing is guaranteed. Nothing. Yeah, TK, our screen game left with Andy Reid. Yeah, Big Red used to. But it's not hard to do. We had Boston Scott. Why can't you use Boston Scott to run the screen game? Why can't you use Dallas Goedert to run the tight end screens? Our tight end screens are garbage too. Wow, we were spoiled, man. Andy Reid spoiled us. You can't deny it. Can't deny it. He's got to have he's got to Sirianni, I'm talking about. He's got to be able to open up the playbook. And see, here's the thing. This year, and you guys you hear me chirping about this a lot, because I think it matters more than people realize. Second year, the first time in Jalen Hurts' career, college or pro, that he's had the same offensive scheme 2 years in a row. So yet he does not have to learn a new playbook. That's huge. I don't think people appreciate how difficult that is. I say that, I know I've said that about 6 times, and I'm gonna say it till the season starts, because people don't give that enough credit. You'll find every reason in the world to criticize somebody if you don't like him, or if that's not your guy, or that's not your choice. But give him credit for the things he's doing. 6 offensive schemes in 6 years is ridiculous. So I expect him to have a much better year throwing the ball and all that kind of stuff this year. So we'll see what's going to happen. But we got to open up that playbook, man. Sirianni has to have learned his lesson about balancing the attack. It was quite clear last year. Whenever we threw the ball more than 25 times, we had problems. If we kept it 20 to 25 and had at least 15 to 20 runs, everything was good. And I say 15 to 20 runs, I'm not counting Jalen Hurts. I'm not counting when he scrambles out and makes something happen, because that would happen around 6-7 times a game. So they would add that to the rushes, and like, no, I want him to hand the ball off to the man we're paying to run the ball. Because until Jalen Hurts gets his legs together, or get not his legs, until he gets his passing much better, he's at a risk to get injured every time he runs the ball. As a running back, you almost have 100% chance to get injured. Because every time you touch the rock, they coming for your neck. So the less he can run, he doesn't have Lamar Jackson speed, Michael Vick speed. He's got great speed. He doesn't have blazing speed. So I don't want him running the ball as much as he ran last year. Hand that ball off to Sanders. I'm still a fan of Sanders. In my opinion, he's still a home run hitter. Now, the biggest criticism for Sanders is you got to stay healthy. But again, he's a running back. You can't do nothing about that. Running backs are going to get dinged up, period. But you can use them and you can manage them and you can balance their workload with somebody else coming off the bench. You got Gainwell, you got Boston Scott still. So we got a pretty good trio in the backfield. Use them. But we'll see what he's going to do. Gainwell wants to be the number one receiver. It all depends on how we use him. If we took the approach like Carolina with McCaffrey, if we used our running backs like that, Gainwell would be the starter. No doubt. I still think Sanders is a better running back, but Gainwell is a better catching running back. Gainwell's got much better hands. Sanders is a bigger back and can take more punishment. They're both, it looks like Gainwell's maybe a little bit quicker. So we'll see. Pierre Strong Jr., running back, 4th round, Shady McCoy 2.0. That's some big words, Rico. You can't. You got to see that at the next level. I can't go off of that. You got to see that at the next level. Sanders is taking it personally. I hope he is taking it personally. But the problem is Sanders has no control over what Sirianni is going to do. And I am hoping that Sirianni doesn't come out and is like, okay, I'm going to show y'all we can be a passing team. I hope he just doesn't repeat the same mistakes he did last year. And I hope he takes the players and he fits his scheme to the players he has. I hope he doesn't try to make the players fit into what he's trying to do, because that never works. Never works. So it'll be interesting because everybody's on the hot seat. Howie's on the hot seat. Sirianni's on the hot seat. Sanders is on the hot seat. Jalen Hurts is on the hot seat. Everybody's on the hot seat. So it'll be interesting to see how we use the weapons we get. So Howie's got to be on top of his game when he's making these picks. And they always talk about they doing their homework. We shall see. We shall see, because there's going to be another team that everybody's going to look at and is like, why couldn't we do that? But we cannot be in a situation where we are saying this guy was available and we didn't pick him. Why would you choose whoever we choose at 15 and 18? We cannot be scratching our heads. There are too many good players available at the positions we need: safety, wide receiver, defensive line, linebacker. There are too many good players at those 4 positions to make any mistakes. So if we make a mistake on this draft, then without a shadow of a doubt that Howie Rosemann is just doing his own thing, because it's too obvious. It was too obvious about DK. Let's be real. It was way too obvious. And again, people were looking at him with that arched eyebrow like, dude, what are you doing? Still mad about that. Jinx, why is your face shattered, bro? Why is your faith in Sanders completely shattered? Sanders is still a good back. He got dinged up. I remember watching that game, and he busted off, had to be like a 25, 30-yard run to the right and tweaked his ankle because I saw it when he did it. And I immediately knew what it was because I was like, been there, done that. Nobody touched him. I think he hit a weird piece of turf and his ankle just kind of did like that. And he tweaked it. And he came out of the game. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, there you go. But that's one of those things. Ain't nothing you can do about that. Nothing you can do about that. Let me see. How is that Gainwell and Scott hit the hole better than Sanders most of the time? That's a technique thing, Jason. Here's my opinion. And again, I'm speaking as a running back. I do not. Let me rephrase that. I hate when they run the ball out of pistol. I hate it. I'm a tailback. I'm old school. I'm 7 yards deep, and I want to run downhill. You look at Henry, he runs downhill. When Deebo was scoring a lot of those touchdowns in San Francisco, downhill when they had him in the backfield. I do not like when we are in pistol or when we are in gun and we hand the ball off and they got to run sideways. I don't like that because it's too much time for linebackers to fill or to force it inside. If you're running sideways and you got to cut it up, that means you got to change direction in between the tackles. That's not what you want to do. If you're going outside, you want to stay outside, build your speed, and beat the defender to the corner. If you get up to the second level, maybe you make somebody miss. You make a 5-yard gain, turn it into a 10. Take a 10, turn it into a 20, or possibly more. You make a DB miss. Somebody misses a tackle. Somebody trips in pursuit. Things can happen the longer you stretch it out. And the faster a running back can get to that corner, turn the corner, and get north and south. That's what you want to do when you're running outside. But when you hand the ball off and you are in gun formation, so that means I'm on the left or to the right of the quarterback. If the play is supposed to go inside to get the ball and then change directions and go north and south, that means you lose all your momentum because you got to change direction. The minute you change direction, your momentum is gone. So you don't want to do that. You want to go downhill. If you want to run pistol or have him deep, you can still have the quarterback in gun and hand the ball off going downhill. So why am I blurry here? What's going on? There we go. So, like I said, I went on a tangent, but I hate handing the ball off sideways. I want our quarterback to hand the ball off going downhill. And I really hope that Sirianni puts Jalen Hurts under center more. He needs to be under center where he can drop back. And as he drops back, he's seeing everything develop. Rico, you still talking about this dude? 5'11", 207 runs a 4.39. That is fast. However, when you get linebackers that's running 4.4s, so we'll see if they get him. If they get him. I don't think if he's running times like that, somebody will pick him up. But I don't think the Eagles are going to pick up another running back. It'd be silly for him. Not silly, but we got 3 strong running backs. They'll have a couple free agents in. Maybe somebody will turn the tides, and you'll see something unexpected. But I doubt it. But we'll see. But hey, 4.39 is 4.39, bro. That's blazing. So if that speed can translate, We'll see. I'm gonna look him up. Let me write that down. Pierre Strong. I'm gonna look him up and see what he can do. Pierre Strong. All right. I'm gonna look him up, dude. See what he look like. What else? London. We didn't get a chance to talk about the Phillies. We'll get to them. They stumbled out of the gate. They was looking good for a minute, then they something happened. Big Moose says, what direction is this team going in? The lack of aggressiveness this offseason, the many holes on the defense, and no help for Hurts. Shake my head. Well, we'll see. It all depends on what they do in the draft. I like Hassan Reddick. Pascal's a question mark. And we got we signed somebody else. What's the other guy's name? I think did we sign a linebacker from San Diego? I can't remember. Let me see. See if I can remember his name here. Let me see. Let me use my phone. Who else did the Eagles sign? Eagles free agents. I'm forgetting somebody. He just signed. Nope, it's not telling me there. Eagles free agent signings. Zach Pascal. More, let me see. Kelsey, yeah, we got him. Hassan Reddick. We got Anthony Harris. We got Zach Pascal. We got Derek Barnett, Boston Scott, Greg Ward, Kaiser White. That's who I'm thinking of. Kaiser White. I believe he's a local kid too. So that's a good signing because he was balling out in San Diego, and he's a leader. He's an alpha personality on that defense, and that's what we need. Because I don't think I don't know if I would call Fletcher Cox an alpha personality because his production is definitely not living up to that. So we need somebody else that's going to back it up. So who's hey, what's going on, big sis? My sister Cricket is on the line. Good to see you. Love you. So show enough, man. I got to give you props for that. For that screen name, bro. Show enough. Yeah, man. I was in college in the 80s and 90s, bro. So yeah, that's old school right there. Kiss my Converse. But yeah, man, this is the week. This is the week as we closing up, man. We about at the end of my time, but listen, it's gonna be crazy. I will be on next Thursday because they're gonna do the first round of the draft next Thursday. So I will be on live, and I will have the TV on. So you're gonna see me rubbernecking a lot because I will have the draft on and going during the broadcast. So jump in the chat. And we're gonna have some fun. And if anybody, I'm trying to get some more people for the show. So if you have any ideas, smash that like button. Join the A2D family on YouTube. We're trying to make this thing grow, man. So this was a good show tonight. This was fun. And it's gonna be crazy next week. It's gonna be nuts. Because everybody's gonna. I want everybody. If you're on the channel, everybody's got to take a selfie. Do a selfie video of when the Eagles drafting because I want to see like the facial expressions when we take the pick. Because I want to see that. So next week's the week. Next Thursday, draft day. It's gonna be crazy. So, but listen, man, this was a great show. Thanks for everybody coming out. Again, tell you. Go to the YouTube channel, Copy this link and send this link to a friend. And visit my Facebook fan page, The Pro Fan Perspective. I'm trying to make this thing grow. I appreciate y'all being live in the chat. We had a very good chat tonight, man. A lot of good stuff. Jason, I'll see you next Thursday, bro. Appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for all the family. My sister, my cousin Derry, my dad's, TK, grandson Chris, family showing up and showing out. You know how we do. But thank you. I appreciate y'all. And I will see you next Thursday. Let's go. Ready, break. I'm out.